responsibilities beyond traditional secretarial functions. He also congratulated the Institute on its upcoming 60th anniversary, describing it as a professional and consequential organization that has contributed significantly to governance and institutional development in Nigeria. Earlier, ICSEN President Uto Ukpana said the institute has spent 6 decades promoting good governance in both public and private sectors and appealed for support to ensure the amendment bill is passed into law.
On behalf of President Bola Tinubu, I wish to warmly welcome you to the State House. And you have the creme de la creme of the Nigerian establishment as part of your distinguished entourage. But I must confess that I was amazed by your depth of knowledge of your members, name, background. This is a celebration of 60 years of professionalism and integrity, the very theme you have chosen for this milestone. It's a record few institutions in this country can claim. You have earned it, and the nation is better for the work you have done. But you are truly a consequential
and even sound corporate governance. And he reiterated that support for the Institute during today's engagement, and for that we are truly grateful. It was also an opportunity to intimate him about the rebuilding of our National Secretariat, which is our critical capital project of the Institute, as well, of course, as the Chartered Governance Institute of Nigeria Bill, which is before the National Assembly. And so we're really grateful for the opportunity to have this audience with His Excellency today.
We would like to know your name.
My name is Mrs. Utu.
The new Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Bianca Odumegu Ojukwu, has officially assumed duty as the minister. She was received at the ministry by the Permanent Secretary, Ambassador Dunoma Umar Ahmed, alongside senior officials and head of agencies under the ministry. The Permanent Secretary described the minister as an experienced leader and assured her of the ministry's full support in advancing Nigeria's foreign policy objectives and protecting the interests of Nigerians abroad. Heads of agencies under the ministry also pledged their cooperation and commitment to achieving the ministry's goals. Ambassador Bianca Odumegu Ojukwu appreciated the warm reception and reaffirmed her commitment to Nigeria's 40 foreign policy agenda centered on democracy, development, diaspora, and demography. Nigeria and India have reaffirmed their commitment to strengthening bilateral and multilateral cooperation ahead of the forthcoming BRICS Foreign Ministers meeting and the India-Africa Forum Summit scheduled to hold in New Delhi later this month. The Permanent Secretary of Nigeria's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Dunoma Ahmed, gave the affirmation during a meeting with the High Commissioner of India to Nigeria, Abhishek Singh, at the ministry's headquarters in Abuja. During the meeting, the Indian envoy briefed the Permanent Secretary on preparations for the Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa BRICS Foreign Ministers meeting slated for May 14 to 15, 2026 at the Bharat Mandapam in New Delhi, as well as the India-Africa Forum Summit expected to convene African leaders and senior officials later in the month. Singh noted that Nigeria, as a BRICS partner country and a major stakeholder in Africa, occupies a strategic place in India's engagement with the continent. Into security stories, troops of Sector 2, Joint Task Force Northwest Operation Fansanyama, have recorded significant operational success against terrorists and other criminal elements operating in Zamfara State as part of ongoing efforts to restore peace and security across the region. In a statement signed by the Media Information Officer of the Northwest Force, Lieutenant Colonel Aliyu Danja, the troops conducted a fighting patrol to Kauran Moda and Benin Magaji local government areas of Zamfara State to deny terrorists the freedom of action within the area. According to the statement, the troops made contact with armed terrorists in Dumburum village, where a fierce firefight ensued and overwhelmed the terrorists with superior firepower, forcing the latter to flee in disarray after suffering significant casualties. The Assistant Inspector General of Police, Zone 2, Olon Dari Jimo, has reiterated that the disbanded Special Anti-Robbery Squad, SARS, no longer exists in any form within the police structure. He also dismissed claims that former SARS operatives were regrouped into new tactical units. Videos of police officers involved in altercations with civilians have been circulating online following the recent shooting of Mineo Gide, a 28-year-old man in Delta State. However, the AIG claimed that most of the videos resurfacing are old videos from as far back as 5 to 6 years ago. According to him, former SARS officers were not dismissed from the police because they are conventional police officers and general duty officers, but were instead redeployed to different units within the force. Meanwhile, the Nigeria Police Force uncovered a major examination malpractice syndicate allegedly operating during the 2026 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination (UTME) in Delta State. The operation, carried out in collaboration with the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board (JAM), exposed attempts to compromise the integrity of the computer-based examination through sophisticated cyber fraud methods. Our correspondent, Marianne Inakimion, completes the report.
Nigerian Police Force, in collaboration with Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, uncovered and dismantled a sophisticated examination malpractice syndicate during the 2026 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination at the College of Education, Warri, Delta State. At a press briefing on Friday parading the suspect in Abuja, the Force Public Relations Officer, DCP, Anthony Plaxi, disclosed that the operation followed intelligence-led investigation into attempts by criminal elements to compromise the integrity of the examination through technology-driven fraud and unauthorized remote access to examination systems. He stated that the preliminary investigations revealed that during the examination, unauthorized remote access was illegally gained into candidates' computer systems while the exercise was in progress. The police further disclosed that ongoing investigation have uncovered the involvement of additional examination centers suspected to have participated in the similar illegal activities. As part of the immediate administrative actions, JAM reportedly withdrew results from affected centers pending the conclusion of investigation. Candidates impacted by the development are expected to be rescheduled for mop-up examinations in accordance with established procedures. The force, however, warned candidates, examination center operators, and other collaborators against engaging in examination malpractice, cyber enabler fraud, and unauthorized access to examination systems.
Candidates directly affected by these activities will be rescheduled for the mop-up examination in line with JAM commitment to fairness and due process. The Nigerian Police Force emphasizes that this operation is not only aimed at arresting offenders after commission of crimes, but also at proactively detecting, dismantling, and preventing organized examination malpractice network through intelligence-led policing, digital forensics, and strategic interagency collaboration. The force reiterates that no form of cyber-assisted examination fraud, digital manipulations, or unauthorized system intrusion will escape detection and prosecution.
Put measures that will check this center remotely from our headquarters in Abuja. And with the cooperation and assistance of the Nigerian Police Force, When we do that, because the partnership has been activated, we get in touch with them and these people are arrested immediately. So the warning we are sending to Nigerians is that whatever you try, our eyes are there. We are watching right from the headquarters. We have close to 1,000 centers across the nation, and we are watching with 250 computers in each center. If you multiply that by 1,000, you will see how huge that number is. But we are watching all those systems from our headquarters in Abuja.
Authorities said investigations are continuing with efforts on the way to identify all individuals and centers connected to malpractice network. The police and JAMB also assured Nigerians of their commitment to protecting the credibility of public examinations and ensuring that those found culpable will be brought to justice. Reporting from Abuja, Miriam Inakimion, MITV Plus News.
The Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps and SCDC Ogun State Command has recorded 2 major breakthroughs in crackdown on vandalism and impersonation, with the arrest of 3 suspected vandals and a fake officer caught transporting cannabis sativa. The State Corps Commandant, Remilekun Ekundayo, made this known in Abeokuta while parading the suspects and items recovered from them. She warned that vandalism of national assets remains a threat to public infrastructure, economic stability, and national development, and stressed that anyone found engaging in economic sabotage will be identified, arrested, and prosecuted in accordance with the extant laws. She said the command is committed to protecting critical national assets and maintaining public safety across the state. She also paraded a fake NSCDC officer caught with cannabis sativa along the Dofa Road in Imeko area of the state. According to her, the suspect was arrested with a fake identity card and vest of the Corps in order to evade arrest while transporting the illicit goods. The commandant further confirmed that the drugs will be handed over to the National Drugs Law Enforcement Agency (NDLEA) and all the suspects will be prosecuted.
3 suspected vandals involved in the destruction of critical national assets and infrastructure belonging to the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, at Ijako, Ajibode, Sangota, Ogun State. The suspects are Yusuf Sofiu, age 30 years, Bashar Atiku, age 25 years, and Ashiru Hassan, age 27 years. Items recovered from the suspects include strands of aluminum conductor wires concealed inside 2 sacks, 1 hacksaw, and 1 motorcycle. The suspect was intercepted while riding a motorcycle conveying 12.5 parcels of suspected cannabis sativa, otherwise known as Indian hemp. He was found dressed in an NSCDC reflective vest and head warmer in an attempt to disguise himself as a genuine officer of the Corps. Upon interrogation, the suspect presented a fake NSCDC identity card. Further investigation revealed that he allegedly used the NSCDC uniform and identity materials to evade security checks while transporting the illicit substance.
Former President Goodluck Jonathan has challenged a suit filed by a lawyer, John Mary Jideobi, seeking to restrain him from contesting the 2027 presidential election. Jonathan, through his lawyer Chris Uche-San, informed Justice Peter Lefo of the Federal High Court, Abuja, shortly after the matter was called for hearing that a letter of conditional appearance, a notice of preliminary objection, a counter affidavit, and a written address had been filed on May 5, praying the courts to dismiss the case. He said they got information about the case through the media and hence the need to file the processes urgently, given the importance of the matter, which boiled down to the eligibility of the former president to contest in the next elections. Justice Peter Leaf subsequently adjourned the matter to May 11 for hearing of the ex-president's objection and the substantive suit. And now to some political stories. Presidential aspirant Mohamed Hayatuddin has picked the African Democratic Congress presidential expression of interest and nomination forms ahead of the 2027 elections, pledging to address insecurity, create jobs, and ease the high cost of living facing millions of Nigerians. Hayatuddin is the first aspirant to obtain the ADC presidential nomination form, receiving it from the party's national organizing secretary, Prince Chinedu Idego, in a move that supporters described as a strong sign of growing momentum for his candidacy. Shortly after receiving the 100 million naira forms, Hayatuddin, in a statement from his media unit, said the 2027 elections should focus on restoring the nation's economic stability and strengthening security. INEC also announced that party primaries and the resolution of related disputes would be conducted between April 23 and May 30, 2026. The support for the election bid of All Progressives Congress Ogun State aspirant Solomon Olamilekan in the 2027 general elections is gathering momentum with the inauguration of members of the Yayi Progressives movement and the unveiling of 26 campaign buses. The event, held at the Ake Palace Pavilion in Abeokuta, the state capital, and was well attended by the convener of the movement, Akintunde Tope Armstrong, party chieftains, elders, and supporters from the 21 local government areas of the state. The Yayi Progressives movement is targeted at expanding grassroots mobilization with its core mandates to support the governorship ambition of the Ogun APC governorship candidate, Senator Solomon Olamilekan, and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for a second term in office, at the gubernatorial ambition of the Ogun State Governor Dapo Abiodun.
Ashwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the President of Federal Republic of Nigeria, who has given us the privilege, both as private and government sector, to be here to support his second-term agenda as a result of his positive impact on all our party members. He has given us a marching order by making sure that come 2027 election, Ogun State will deliver the highest vote in the entire West Africa.
Ahead of the 2027 general elections, residents of Ogun State have been urged to use their voting power to deliver the state from what is described as political robbers. A town planning expert, who is the governorship aspirant of the Allied People's Movement APM, Rotimi Matthew Babajide, made the urge in Abeokuta, warning the residents against re-electing the wrong candidates. Babajide pledged to revive the economy of the state through agriculture, improved transportation system, and infrastructural development. He also noted that his administration would prioritize job creation through industrialization and private sector partnerships, noting that his target of 150,000 jobs is achievable through deliberate policies and investments. On infrastructure, the aspirants pledged to open up rural communities and boost economic activities through massive road rehabilitation and improved transport systems.
Today, to declare my sincere intention to serve the good people of Ogun State as a governor of this great state from 29th of May 2027. I stand before you today to take up the challenge to lead Ogun State to prosperity and justice. I'm taking up this leadership challenge because the Ogun State of our forefathers like Chief Obafemi Awolowo, Chief M.K.O. Abiola, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, Professor Wole Soyinka, Chief Ernest Shonekon, and many others should not be allowed to be taken over by political invaders. So I talk. This is Ogun State. Somebody will say, Ogunon, maybe. Ogunon, maybe. We have roots. We have history. We should be very resolute in a time like this, not to allow the second colonization. I'm prepared and ready for the number one plump job in Ogun State. I'm ready to serve you with the fear of God, with all inclusive governance. My good people, my manifesto in line with the ethos and ideals of our great party is out to put Ogun State peoples first. People First Manifesto for Ogun State by Tabrana Prince Rotimi Babajide. Ogun State people deserve a government that works for them and with them.
Lagos State has commenced the airlifting of its intended pilgrims embarking on the 2026 Holy Pilgrimage to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, with 343 pilgrims on board the inaugural flight. The intended pilgrims left the pilgrims and cargo terminal of Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Ikeja, on board a Flynas airline. Speaking with journalists at the departure point, the State Commissioner for Home Affairs, Ibrahim Layode, said the state's government had put all necessary arrangements in place to ensure a smooth and successful pilgrimage for all participants. He urged the pilgrims to remain law-abiding, disciplined, and prayerful during the spiritual exercise and to uphold the image of the state and Nigeria throughout their stay. Also speaking, the special advisor to the governor on Islamic matters, Dr. Ahmed Jebe, advised the pilgrims to conduct themselves as worthy ambassadors of Lagos State and Nigeria. Meanwhile, a commissioner for operations, Anofio Elegushi, expressed satisfaction with the level of coordination and preparedness by Lagos State for the airlift operation.
Don't say that the policy is so bad. It is for our own interest. What the Saudi were trying to do is that to guide us and to guide against any form of casualties. We are talking of stampeding or whereby we were saying people were missing, we could not find them. So that Nusuk, the moment they place their phone or their gadget on it, it will tell you the information about the pilgrims. You know, about 2005, they reduced it to 1,008. Eventually, they now cut it off. For this year, the pilgrims that we are having in the state now is 1,600. On the 13th of May is going to be the last flight from the state, Lagos State, that will be going from Lagos to this.
There's somebody that have cereal, and I asked her, why did you put cereal in your hand luggage? She now said that she doesn't know that cereal is supposed not to be in her hand luggage and it's supposed to be in the main luggage. And I asked her, and I said, okay, will you give it to somebody that is weighing now? They said nobody should give their luggage to anybody. It tells you that indirectly they have heard what we said. And we've said it on the day of one-day seminar. And we told them that nobody should assist anyone. I can assure you, nobody from Lagos, nobody, I'm saying it categorically, that will be caught of such.
For all of them to be a good ambassador. For the ones that have gone already, they should be careful in handling things. For the ones that are yet to go, they should also be careful. They should not take any items, either consumable items or whatever items, from anybody that will pretend that maybe his or her son or daughter is studying in Medina or Mecca.
And now to foreign news. South Africa's top court has revived impeachment proceedings against President Cyril Ramaphosa over a scandal dubbed Farmgate by local media, saying Parliament had acted unlawfully by blocking the process in 2022. The scandal centered on allegations made by a former intelligence official that Ramaphosa tried to cover up the theft of about $4 million in foreign currency stashed in furniture at his Falafala game farm in 2020. Ramaphosa, a wealthy businessman before he became president in 2018, admitted that there had been a break-in, but said the thieves only stole $580,000, which he said were proceeds from the sales of buffaloes. In its ruling on Friday, the Constitutional Court said a December 2022 vote in Parliament that blocked the panel's report from being referred to an impeachment committee was inconsistent with the Constitution and is set aside. It ordered that the report should be referred to an impeachment committee. The 10th Palestine International Marathon has been run in the occupied West Bank city of Bethlehem, with a parallel race held in Gaza after a 2-year hiatus caused by Israel's war on the Strip. The 42-kilometer race began at 6 a.m. local time on Friday, with thousands of Palestinian and international runners gathering at the traditional starting point, the Church of the Nativity in Bethlehem. Marathon coordinator Itidal Abdul Ghani said this year's race carries a message of unity of the homeland, with runners on both sides of the Israeli separation regime taking part in simultaneous events. A separate 5-kilometer race was organized in central Gaza, running from Wadi Gaza Bridge northwards. Organizers also staged a virtual marathon in several countries between 17 and 21st of April, attracting more than 5,000 participants from 88 countries. Overall, the number of runners exceeded 13,000, including 2,523 in Gaza and about 1,000 foreign participants from 75 countries. And leading to sports news, the Nigeria Football Federation, NFF, have appointed Abdul Mikaba and Ebo Boriste as head coaches of the under-20 and under-17 men's national teams, respectively. Mikaba, who has managed several of Nigeria's prestigious clubs, has also previously coached the under-17 boys national team known as the Golden Eaglets. He was assistant coach of the under-20 men, the Flying Eagles, during the period that Paul Aigbogo served as the head coach. The tactician has worked with Nigerian clubs Enyimba FC, Wiki Tourists, Kano Pillars, Plateau United, and famously led Oka United FC to win the oldest and most prestigious football competition in the land, now known as President's Federation Cup, in 2017. The new head coach of 5-time world champions Golden Eaglet, Ebo Borite, has served as coach analyst with the senior men's national team for the Super Eagles for many years. Real Madrid have fined Aurelien Tchouameni and Federico Valverde €500,000 each after a training ground clash that left the latter needing hospital treatment. The club did not impose any sporting sanctions on the two players, saying in a statement that they are thereby concludes the internal procedures launched against them. Valverde will miss Sunday's Clásico against Barcelona as a result of the head injury he suffered during the altercation. The club said he would be out for up to 2 weeks. Tchouameni took part in training on Friday and could feature at Camp Nou this weekend. Meanwhile, Madrid said on Friday that both players expressed their complete remorse for what happened and apologized to each other while taking part in a club investigation. Manchester United captain Bruno Fernandes has won the Football Writers Association's Men Footballer of the Year award. Midfielder Fernandes has scored 8 goals and provided 20 assists in 30 games across all competitions for the Red Devils this season. The Portugal international has played a key role in United's upturn in form under interim boss Michael Carrick. United are set to finish the season without a trophy for the second season in a row, but they are on a course to finish third in the Premier League and secure a place in the next season's Champions League. Fernandes is the first United player to win the FWA Men's Award since Wayne Rooney in 2010. And that brings us to the end of our primetime news tonight. Thank you so much for watching. Please follow us on all our social media platforms at MITV+_NG on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and X. You can also watch our programs live on YouTube at MITV+_NG. Remember to click the like and subscribe button. I am Layo Shobo for Lauren Shaw. To have a good evening.